Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, as always, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I know I say it every single live stream, every single video, but we do appreciate everyone that is following the channel, supporting the channel, all of that good stuff. We've got a jam-packed morning show for you guys off the back of a 4-1 win against AC Milan. And I'm going to say what I said against Bayer Leverkusen. Did we just look really, really good against a really poor AC Milan team? A team that played and flew from Dublin last night, or the night before last, to then play us again 24 hours prior to playing Leeds United. Did we just look really good? Did we just outperform them again? Did we just do what we needed to do, get the job done? It is hard to perimeter, like, benchmark the two pre-season games, but I'm going to be honest. We look good. We look very, very good. We look very, very good in terms of the performances so far this season, in the pre-season, back of the Club World Cup. We just look solid. We look absolutely solid. And this is without Levi Colwell. This is out without having, theoretically, a solid goalkeeper. This is without, this is with new players coming into the team. Gittins, João Pedro, Liam Delap, Estevao, Asugo, Hato. They're all coming into a team, a newly formed team, and we look solid. We look very, very solid. Let's start off with yesterday's game, because I think for me, there was a lot more impressive things to talk about than there was in the Bayer Leverkusen game. I think both games were really good, superb in terms of the performances. And I said this season, Maresca is going to be judged quite a bit more, I think, than he was last season. But he definitely looks like he's improving as a manager. Now, the score yesterday, if you didn't see the game, was 4-1. Yes, early red card to Kubis 19 minutes into the game did change things. It did change the game. It did. But I'm still going to take the fact that we still played well. And I still think, even in the second half, which we'll talk about, we had a very, very youthful lineup. Young Walsh got a little run out. Achiempong was on. Estevao, we still have to remember, he's only 18 years of age. So let's look at the lineups first of all, because I personally think this may be the lineup. Maybe the lineup we see on Sunday against Crystal Palace. I did say before in the preview that AC Milan played Leeds, or they were playing Leeds the Saturday. And a lot of the players that they had out for us at Stamford Bridge did not play in that game. Mike Mignon didn't play. Kubis never played. Tomori never played. I don't think Fofana played either. I think Musa might have played. Loftus-Cheek didn't play. Leao definitely didn't play. But we looked very good. And I'll be honest, I don't know whether this was Allegri, again, playing a back three, if it suited us. I feel like it suited us more that they were playing a back three. He just worked for us. Gittins was getting plenty of opportunities, direct football, driving at the wing backs. He was doing everything right. João Pedro, Kubis just couldn't handle him, hence the red card. And even Neto, Neto was just Neto. He's just perfect on that right wing. It's almost like he's making that his. And Gittins we'll talk about in a minute, but I do think, personally, I do think there's another option for Sunday, which I'll talk about. But our lineup was very, very solid and strong. Robert Sanchez in goal, Reece James, Tosin and Chalobah as the centre-backs, with Marc Cucurella on the left-back side. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo in the midfield. Jamie Gittins left side of the midfield, with Cole Palmer as the 10, Pedro Neto on the right, with João Pedro up front. And just in terms of the stats, now again, you have to caveat and factor in the fact that AC Milan had that early red card 20 minutes into the game, which was a red card as well. Let's not beat around the bush. It was a red card. But again, very much like the Bayer Leverkusen game, we just dominated. We dominated the game. We were just on top of AC Milan. They couldn't cope with us. Attacking wise, they couldn't cope. They did obviously have a lot more chances and opportunities to score goals, more so than Bayer Leverkusen, but we just dominated. You know, you can see even in the second half, possession wise, it was even, but in terms of the chances created, the big chances that the shots on target and all the rest of it, we still dominated. We still came out on top. So, but even in the first half, I mean, look at that. And like I said, I don't know if this is a really bad AC Milan team or just the fact that we played them at the right time. I don't know. It's really hard to judge how we go into that first game of the season. Are we going to go down as favourites? Are we going to go down as the team that will do well, start the season well? We're going to look at our fixtures as well this morning, our first 6 fixtures this morning, to see how do we think we're going to do? How are we going to do as Chelsea fans? Are we going to be able to confidently say we're going to get 3 points in our first 6 games? I personally think we can. I think we can. I think we look at our squad. We can. Some of the goals yesterday were brilliant. Obviously, the first goal was an own goal. It was a lovely floated in free kick from Reece James. Kubis, again, did not have the best of days. He scored the OG before he got the red card, but it was just nice to see. It was nice to see that sort of front foot attacking football from us early into the game. And that's something that I feel like Maresca's changed at Chelsea. He's made sure that we're not just sort of sitting back and inviting pressure. Or we're not just, messing around. We're not doing a lot of nothing with the ball. We're actually working the ball very well. And we're getting it into the key areas of the pitch, key areas of the opposition's box. And we're doing something. We're taking chances. We're creating them. We're making the goalkeeper work. And that's something I think maybe because of the plays that have come in with Gittins. Cole Palmer's obviously got the link up now with Estevao as well. João Pedro, Liam Delap. I think maybe we've got more attacking flair going forward, which is why we're seeing a bit more attacking options going forward. I just think it's just good to see. We've been starved. If you've been watching Chelsea for as long as I have, we have been starved of attacking football. And not just attacking football, but attacking football with some intention, with something to see at the end of it, with goals. When was the last time we smashed a team 4-1 and we were really good and comfortable on the ball? Even in a preseason game. Like this is like a new Chelsea. It's like just like we're not scared to attack. I think back to last season, the amount of times Noni Madueke would have the ball and he would cut in, or he'd try and take the ridiculous shot on that wasn't on. The same for Nkunku, Jackson. They'd all get chances and opportunities and they wouldn't take them. They wouldn't take them. They would just be sat there pondering their thoughts afterwards, missing sitters, skying it over the bar. So I think Maresca and the sporting directors and everyone else involved in transfers has done what we need to do in order to have a very successful season. I really do. But the first goal, Kubis, own goal, Mike Mignon maybe should save it. It doesn't come at him at pace. It's just a very well dinked ball into the box from Reece James from the free kick. Kubis, who I think tries to clear it but just does an awful job of doing it, scores the own goal. And then you have João Pedro's goal, which I thought, again, very good goal. Very good goal. Very good goal. 5 in 5. 5 in 5. I'll be honest, there's not a lot of people talking about João Pedro. There's not a lot of people talking about João Pedro at the moment in terms of non-Chelsea fans. I think we are not talking about João Pedro as potentially one of the best Premier League strikers this upcoming season. A lot of talk about Gyökeres and Seshko and the talk about Alexander Isak and all the rest of it. But 5 in 5 with João Pedro is something that we can't really shy away from. 5 in 5. Yes, pre-season games, Club World Cup. Let's all have a little song and dance joke about it. But if he can hit that form in the Premier League, I'm talking 20 goals. I'm talking 20 goals for João Pedro. Really am. Mr. Chell 71, why shock you, mate? We're going to explode this season. Everybody's going to start to fear us again. So many options on the bench. Come on, you Blues. I agree 100%. I agree. I think for me, and I've been saying it for the last 2 or 3 weeks now, I do think we're a strong enough squad to be able to compete for the Premier League. I really do. I think we've got enough in the team. We've got enough quality and depth on the bench now. Yes, people are going to talk about losing Levi Colwell, but you got to see yesterday, okay, Trevor Chalobah comes off with a bit of a minor injury, which apparently is nothing. You know, he's ready for the game Sunday. Wesley Fofana, Maresca confirmed at the end of the game, he will be possibly in contention to if not start, at least be on the bench for Crystal Palace. So I don't think there's that much panic in the centre-back positions for me. I do still question the goalkeeper situation, but one thing I will say, and this is not the way you want to win a Premier League, but if you can outscore your opposition, and that sounds very simple, but if we're conceding 2 but scoring 3, I'm just saying sometimes you got to win games dirty, and if that's what you've got to do to win the Premier League, that's what we'll have to do this season. I do think the owners will address the goalkeeper situation at some point next season if we don't do it before the window shuts, this window. And it will bring in another centre-back because eventually Trevor Chalobah potentially will be sold. Badia Shield, Dezazi, Renato Vega are still meant to be leaving the club this summer. So maybe we do bring in a centre-half. But my question is who? Who do you bring in? Who do you bring in that's willing to leave their club? What club is willing to let one of their top centre-backs go with the season about to start? Mark Guehi's name's been batted around, but I've still got a couple of question marks around him. But back to the goals. Back to the 2 goals. And one big thing, actually, Liam Delap. Because we have to, let's talk about the red card. Because I think it was definitely a red card with Cubis. And if you watch the run, the ball comes long, I think, from Robert Sanchez. I think it's a goal kick. And if you notice João Pedro, he's watching the flight of the ball. And he's almost like an NFL player, the way that he's changes his position of the run and it catches Cubis off. He doesn't know, he's running towards almost like one direction, but then stops and then backs up, and then Cubis just isn't positioned well as a centre-back to deal with the sort of change of position from João Pedro, and he's not set up. And the strength of João Pedro, these are the little minor things that when you're a striker, you look at someone like Nicholas Jackson, who I've praised for holding up the ball well, you know, running into the channels, making something, creating something, linking up play, all that stuff I've praised him for. But the other aspects of his game, he's not good at. And we're seeing that with João Pedro. The runs that João Pedro is making on and off the ball comes over the top. As I said, Cubis was not ready to see that change in position, change of the direction of the run from João Pedro. And he just catches him off guard. He's going to be, if he can keep up the form and score the goal that he scores, João Pedro yesterday, to have the intelligence to run between the 2 centre-backs, time the run very well, because again, how many times has Nicholas Jackson been offside? That would have been an offside goal for Nicholas Jackson. But to time it so well and to link up the play, and I think it's Pedro Neto that dinks the ball in. I mean, 5 and 5 as João Pedro is sensational. And I don't know if you guys have been watching, but the way that the cameramen in these 2 pre-season games have been sort of creating a bit of competition, maybe friendly, but whenever João Pedro scores, they pan straight over to Liam Delap, who's on the bench, and he doesn't clap, he doesn't applaud in the Leverkusen game. You got to see it yesterday, where Liam Delap scores his goal, Estevao wins the penalty, which was a penalty. Liam Delap, and I like this about Liam Delap, some strikers shy away from that. He went straight over to Estevao and said, I'm taking the penalty. I want the penalty. And he knows he needs that penalty because competition in that role, number 9, is going to be deadly this season. Even if Jackson does stay, it's going to be deadly. We're going to see potentially João Pedro, Liam Delap fighting out for that position of number 1, the number 1 striker. But he went over to Estevao straight away and said, I'm taking the penalty with confidence because he knows he needs that goal. And he wants to get his first goal at Stamford Bridge. And he took the penalty well. I was impressed with his goal. I was impressed with both his goals. His second goal, Liam Delap, again, very, very good goal. Very, very good goal. I think it just shows the quality that we're hopefully going to see in the Premier League for us next season. It really does. It shows that we've got the quality in our attacking areas now. Something, as I said, as a Chelsea fan, we have been starved of for so long. For so long. When you think back to all the duds we've had, the Lukaku situation, all of those centre halves, centre forwards that we've had, and none of them have really shown anything at this early into the season where you think, actually, we could be onto something. We could be onto something. I want to talk about Gittins, because as much as I feel like Gittins does a lot of things really, really well, he is a solid player in terms of his direct football. You know, he runs towards the defenders. He can take players on. He can create a chance. My worry with him is he kind of reminds me a little bit of Noni Madueke. A little bit, in terms of just how many chances do you need to try and score a goal? How many chances do you need to try and score a goal? That's my worry. A little bit. He's very good. He's rapid. He's quick with his feet. As I said, he can take on a defender. You know, he can create chances. But if you just go back to that game yesterday, and even in the first game against Leverkusen, the amount of times he's in the right position or he does everything correct, but it's just that final piece of football that we need, that final bit of brilliance. Just that little bit of brilliance from him at the back end of what he's got to do. And he just doesn't do it. Yesterday, I think he had 2, maybe 3 chances. 2 went straight over the bar. I think 1 goes wide. It's just, maybe that will come with time. Maybe, you know, I'm judging him off 2 games, but he definitely has to do a little bit more, be a bit more clinical in front of goal. Because again, he's got all the attributes. He's got everything you need to lock down that left side. He could make that his. We know that Pedro Neto can play there. We know that if Garnacho does come to the club, he will essentially be playing on that left side as well. But as it stands at the moment, Gittins is favourite to nail down that left side. My worry is that Neto can play there. If we don't sell Nkunku, he can play there. If we don't sell Jackson, he can play there. Xavi Simons can play there if we ever sign him. So all these things are factoring in my head, thinking you have to be clinical. And I don't ever go off scoring on like football websites, but to see 6.3 kind of sums up what I'm trying to say about him, because out of that front 3, including front 4, including João Pedro, he's probably the weakest one out of them. He doesn't really get anything to hang on. You know, he's not really the guy that you're confident he's going to score the goal. And that's just based off 2 games. So hopefully that changes throughout the season, because he's rapid. He's a defender's nightmare. His feet are that quick. His change of direction is very quick. He's dropping off the shoulder and taking on and running past defender is very, very good. His ability to get assists into the goal looks like it's very good. It just has to add goals to that part of his game. And maybe that will come in time. As I said, I'm basing it off 2 games so far this season for us in the pre-seasons. But yeah, I'm starting to see a little Noni Madueke in him a little bit. That ain't good. That's not good at all. Cole Palmer, I thought had a brilliant game yesterday. Unlucky not to score. 2 brilliant chances, I think, in that first half. One was the free kick, or I think they were both free kicks. And one of them just shies away from the goal. The other one, I think, hits the post and comes off the post. But I think we're going to see the best of Cole Palmer this season. I think he knows he's got to up his game. I think Cole Palmer knows he has to be on form. He has to up his game. Because another player that's kind of been, not riding the wave. I think riding the wave is probably the wrong terminology, but he's definitely had things, he's had the luxury of being able to just embed himself into a team that's a bit more transitional. Now, this season, I think things are going to be more steady, sturdy. There's a bit more structure, a bit more balance in the team. I don't think he can just rely on being Cole Palmer this season. He can't just be that guy that is brilliant 1 in 3 games. He has to be on his game every single game. Because now you've got Estevao waiting, who can play as a 10, can play on the right. And even when he came on yesterday, he was electric. So I think Cole Palmer, not that the pressure's going to get to him, because I think some players thrive under a bit of pressure, and I think he might be one of those. But I think he just has to make sure that he's still very much like Gittins. He's clinical in front of goal. He has to be clinical in front of goal. And yesterday he was unlucky. You know, he couldn't have done any more for those 2 chances that he got. But you need to see a little bit more from Cole Palmer, because I think this season is all about competition. It's all about another player pushing you to another level, to another limit. Estevao looks ready and hungry to take anyone's starting position in that starting 11. No one is untouchable in that squad. Everyone's up for being removed out the starting 11. Everybody is up for removal, because it's not like we've got a regular 11. We really don't. Look at our 11. Look at our squad 11 from the last 2 seasons. The mix and matching of centre-backs last season. The fact that Reece James was in and out of the team. The only place you could probably say is nailed down is our 2 in the midfield. Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. And Marco Correa is left back. But anything else is fair game. Gittins plays well. Cole Palmer in the 10. Neto. That's all interchangeable. And we've got depth now on the bench. Let's just have a look at the bench from yesterday. Because the bench yesterday, we've been screaming for this as Chelsea fans. We want to see the quality and depth. But look at the quality we had on the bench yesterday. Josh Ashiempong, who came on, played very, very well. Andre Santos came on and played very, very well. Liam Delap came on with 30 minutes to go and score 2 goals. Played very, very well. Malo Gusto, I think there's a case to say that if we're talking about pecking order for that right back, I might go as far as to say that Josh Ashiempong is now ahead of Malo Gusto in that role. I sense a lot more calmness from Josh Ashiempong. And I think he'd learn a lot, playing a lot more football at Chelsea. And I also think he could probably do the inverting role a lot better than Malo Gusto can. Now, if we're going to do that in this season, where we're going to be playing, the right backs inverting into the midfield, I generally think Achiampong's going to be able to play that role better than Malo Gusto next season, or this season. Big season for Malo Gusto, because I think last season we saw a bit of good form, we saw really a lot of bad form, but the season before that he was immense. So there is a player in there, but you just need to see that on a more consistent basis. But I'd hate to see Josh Ashiempong leave the club and we end up with Malo Gusto not hitting the form or the heights or the levels that we know that he can, and allowing Josh Ashiempong to leave to go to another club, even potentially a rival. So I think we have to give Ashiempong time this season, because he looks comfortable. He looks like a very comfortable defender, and he can play right centre back as well. So he looks very, very comfortable, very versatile. Hardly makes a mistake, but he hasn't really been tested in the 2 preseason games either. So it's hard to judge him based on those. But when we've seen him in the Conference League last season, he played well. He looked really good. Estevao came on again, showing the depth, showing the quality of depth we've got on the bench. And again, another solid performance from him. Joao Heto came on. Again, good performance. Dario Sugo, Reggie Walsh, Tyreek George. Why is Tyreek George with the plasters on his ears? I know he's got earrings in, but why not just take the earrings out? I'm so confused. Unless he's just got, maybe he's just got his ears pierced recently, but I just don't understand. It's just mental. Big season for Tyreek George, actually, because I think now that he's had a taste of the Chelsea first team, you're in it now. The only way is either back or leave the club. So this is kind of where, if you're getting minutes, you're getting time on the ball, you're getting opportunities to play for the club, you have to take them, and you have to take them well. So if he does do that, I think he can't hide. Again, he's playing in a role, in an area, a position that is heavily stacked with quality in there. So you have to stand out amongst the masses to be able to get any opportunity in that squad, in that left side of the pitch as well, in the attacking options. But Felipe Jurgensen was on the bench as well. Gabriel Slanina and Slamino, Sam Rexaki and Genesis Antwi also made up the bench. It was good to see Luka Modric in that game, actually. I don't know if anyone realised, as soon as Estevao came on, the first thing he done was go straight over and mark Modric, who actually changed the game. Bearing in mind this was a 10-man AC Milan team, he actually came on and created more for them when they had 10 men. So that was a really good, and I think they went to a back four when they had the men sent off after half time. So he came on, he done well. It was good to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. Got a really good reception when he was subbed off by the Stamford Bridge fans as well. It was good. It was good. I think that, him and Tomori obviously coming back to old grounds, knowing the Chelsea way. I'm sure they would not have enjoyed being on a 4-1 drumming. I'm sure they did not come to Stamford Bridge to get thrashed 4-1, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I want to talk quickly about Rafael Leao, because a lot of people talk about this guy as if he's sensational. And I don't know if it's just me, but every time I watch him, every single game I watch Rafael Leao, and I don't see much. I don't see anything. Maybe I don't watch him enough in Serie A, but I just don't see enough from Rafael Leao for all this hype conversation of, he's fast. He's fast. I'll give him that. He's fast. He can be quite skillful at times, but I don't see enough. Whenever I watch him, and this is even for Portugal, there's not enough about him that makes me think he's like a world-class player that everyone talks about. Theo Walcott was fast, but I wouldn't put him in a world-class bracket. Like, I don't see enough about him. And yesterday was the same. I didn't see enough from Rafael Leao. He's not like an Mbappe. He's not like a Vinny Jr. who they do something to change the game, even with 10 men. He's just. I never get this whole hype around him. I never get the hype. People say that he's brilliant and this and that. I generally don't see it. Maybe people are just talking about stats, or they see like a YouTube compilation video of him and he looks amazing in that. But I generally don't see anything from Rafael Leao that makes me think he's going to be. He's not. He came on, he started the game yesterday. I didn't even think he was going to be a threat for us. He's not a threat. I don't see him as a threat at all. But either way, this for me sets us up for what I think is going to be a good season. Now, I personally think we stand a very, very good chance of winning the Premier League this season. I actually do. I think we have every opportunity to win the Premier League this season. I'm confident. We start our season against Crystal Palace on Sunday, where I'll be trying to scour the streets of Marrakesh, trying to find a bar that will be showing that game on Sunday. I'm gutted I'm missing it. I can't remember the last time I missed the first game of a season. But here we are. So I'm going to have to try and find a bar in Marrakesh. So if anyone knows, anyone in Marrakesh or watches this, or anyone who knows, who's been to Marrakesh, if you know where I can watch that game on Sunday, make sure you drop it in the chat, please, because I need to find somewhere ASAP. Then we go on Friday to West Ham. It's the first season I think we're playing 4 of our London derbies straight away. I think we beat Crystal Palace first of all. Let's just get that out there. We beat them. Now, I know they beat Liverpool in the Community Shield yesterday on penalties, and they do look good as well, Crystal Palace. They've had a very good start to their pre-season. They look good. Like I said, they were able to come back 2-2 against Liverpool. But I think we should beat them. We'll get to see Mark Guehi as well. Maybe he's going to give us a performance which will sway the owners to try and sign him. Then we go to West Ham, Graham Potter's West Ham on the Friday. Again, I think we beat them. In fact, I don't even know I'm saying it without confidence. We are beating them. It's Graham Potter's West Ham. We're beating them. London Stadium. Then we go to Fulham. Fulham come to us. We play Fulham 12:30, Stamford Bridge. That's going to be a bit of a tricky game. But again, looking at how we started the pre-season, looking at how we played in the Club World Cup, looking at how our attackers are clicking together and thinking that'll be the third game of the Premier League by then, we should be seeing a lot more cohesion in the squad by that game. Then we go to Brentford. Now I'm looking forward to this game. This is on Saturday, the 13th of September, 8 p.m, G-Tech Community Stadium. I'm looking forward to this game because this is going to be the first game. We've always had a bit of iffy games at Brentford under Thomas Frank. It's a new Brentford. It's a Brentford without Mbumo. Potentially they might lose Wissel before the window shuts as well. So I'm looking forward to playing Brentford. I think we beat them. We've not had the best of times there, but I think we beat them. I think we beat Brentford. This is the game. I remember saying when the fixtures came out, this is the game that will kickstart and tell us and benchmark where we are. This will give us a really good understanding, a real test of where we are and where we're trying to go this season. Manchester United, Old Trafford. Hate playing Manchester United at Old Trafford. We've not got the best of records there anyway. And it's just a 5:30 kickoff. I hate those kind of games. But we play them on the 20th of September. That is the game for me that will determine what we are trying to do this season. Are we trying to get top 4 or are we trying to push for the Premier League? Brighton will smash them, not a problem. Especially if they might lose Baleba as well to United. So if they lose him, we're smashing them 100%. Cucurella to get the winner. Then we go into like the October periods and Forest and Sunderland. We should beat them. We should beat Forest. This is what I'm saying. We should beat Tottenham. We should beat Tottenham. We should beat Wolves. We should smash Burnley to bits. Absolute smithereens. Another big test here, but we're at Stamford Bridge. But I'm hoping at this point in the season, we should be cemented at the top, or even second in the league, but pushing to be number 1 by the 29th of November. We should be pushing. All these games I'm talking about, none of them, bar the United game, am I worried about. I'm not worried about Tottenham. I'm not worried about Sunderland. I'm not worried about Forest. That Liverpool game, I think, will shift anyway. Brighton, I'm not worried about them at Stamford Bridge. We should beat them at Stamford Bridge. I know they've done a double over us last season, but in the FA Cup as well, didn't they? But Brentford, I'm not, because again, you're talking about, Thomas Frank's Brentford. Yes, you might be a bit worried about them, but I'm not worried about them. Fulham, we should beat them at Stamford Bridge. West Ham, Graham Potter's, we should beat them. We know what Graham Potter's about. The opening game might be challenging, but just off the back of those 2 performances, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. Our back end, I always do this. I always go to the 2 areas I always go here, because I think your December, I mean, look at that. That's just December. So we got Arsenal, then we play Leeds. That'll be a tough game, Ellen Road. I say tough just because of the hostile atmosphere. And normally those games are like the 8 p.m. kickoffs, and they're just difficult. They're just difficult to play. Bournemouth, tricky one. We should beat Everton. Let's be honest. Newcastle, we should smash them. They've had a horrid, absolute howler of a transfer window so far. Villa, we should beat them at Stamford Bridge. Bournemouth, we should beat them. And then so all those games, if we win them, they're all winnable games, they're all winnable. You go into that new year, Man City, we should beat them. We could beat Man City. I'm that confident this season. I'm that confident. We can beat Manchester City. You got to take the game to them. If you allow Man City to play their game and play how they want to play and keep possession of the ball, they're going to tie you down. They're going to break you down bit by bit, piece by piece, and then they'll just open you up. But if you take the game to them, Kuznetsov or whatever his name is, he was rubbish. He was pants when he played us. I think he got subbed off. Like you can get to Man City. They're not. Liverpool's a bit more of a different question. But Man City, if you take the game to them, they panic. They flap. They don't know what to do with the ball. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to play against us. So I think we'll be fine. I generally think we have to be title contenders. I'm not saying go out and steamroll the league and we win it straight out and we crash teams, and we run away with the league. I'm not saying that at all. But come the end of May, end of April, we have to be in that conversation. No ifs or buts. We have to be in that conversation to be winning the league. This is big. This is a big season for Maresca. It's a massive season for Maresca. He has to do something in this season. Domestically, in terms of like the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, the Premier League is the big one. The Premier League, he's proven himself now that you can win the Conference League, okay, fair enough. You can win the Club World Cup, which I don't think anyone had us doing before the tournament kicked off. You win and go and win that. You're now going into a season where you've got probably one of the most deadliest midfields. Our attacking options aren't too bad now. Our wide wing areas are not too bad. They're brilliant, actually. Let's have it right. They're brilliant. You should be going in as one of the favourites to win the Premier League. Bar Liverpool, who had a howler yesterday. Van Dijk had a howler. So I'm trying to say, like, we talk about Liverpool, super strength Liverpool, but you can get to them. You can make Van Dijk look very, very average, because Crystal Palace done it yesterday twice. So you can get to them. No one's untouchable. And we have our attack is just as deadly, in my opinion, as Liverpool's. Yes, they've got Ekitike. Yes, they might get Isak. They've still got Salah. And I'm not comparing the players as such. But in terms of what we have, the force, the depth, the quality, we have it all in abundance. We have it there to go this season. If we end up 10th, 15th, or even worse, and then I'll be very, very, I'll be shocked. I'll be very, very shocked if we end up bottom half of the table come December and we're struggling. I'll be absolutely shocked. I'll be shocked and disappointed. And then there'll be questions about Maresca, because you can't play that well in a Club World Cup. You can't look that good against two top teams in Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan. You have to start that season very well, because the pack will come running. The Arsenals, I was going to say Tottenhams, Newcastles, they be there or thereabouts. They might be. So you don't want to get thrown into that mix of, are you going to finish in top four? You want to be in that bracket of, are you winning the Premier League? It's Chelsea. I said on the podcast last week, we're Chelsea Football Club. We shouldn't even be talking about, are we going to be in the conversation? We should be in the conversation to win the Premier League. We should be in it. There's no we shouldn't be thinking, are we going to be in it? It's Chelsea Football Club. Probably one of the most successful clubs in the last 20 to 25 years in English football. Now, I know we've gone almost, has it been almost 10 years? It's got to be almost 10 years since we last won the league, but we've got to get back into the habit of being in the conversation, challenging, winning the Premier League. That's where we need to get back to. That's our standards. Our standards should be there. Not maybe we'll get in the Champions League, or maybe we'll go far in the we should be trying to win the Champions League. That's our model. That's our role in the job. Win the Champions League, win the Premier League. Those are the objectives. Anything else is a failure. It's an absolute failure. We can't stop. We have to stop saying, oh, the owners have come in and they're trying to get things and it's transitional. Yeah, we're going through a transitional, but in that transitional period, you still need to see progression. So we're still in that transitional period, 100%, but the progression has to match it. There's no point having a trajectory or a regression during your transitional period. We're still transitioning from one owner to another. We're still weeding out certain players, but there has to be progress in between that. Because what does it all count for? If we're not winning anything and we're signing a bunch of players and there's nothing to show for it at the end of the season, what's the point? What's the point? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Now let's talk about some of the players that may potentially be leaving the club, or hopefully leaving the club. Let's go and see some transfer news. There's still Ben Chilwell. There's still Sterling. There's still Xavi Simons, Christopher Nkunku. Let's start with a bit of this, which hopefully I think gets resolved very soon. This is coming from Nizar Kinsella. Chelsea have offered several players to RB Leipzig for Xavi Simons, including Christopher Nkunku, Any deal between would not be a direct swap deal and would be related but separate transfers. It remains to be seen whether the German club deem it viable. Also went on to say that sources close to Christopher Nkunku have also explained he's reluctant to join a club like RB Leipzig as he's aiming to play in the Champions League level next season. I'll be honest, I generally think we might end up keeping him. And I don't think look, this Xavi Simons deal this was going on after the Club World Cup. Literally like a day or two after the Club World Cup final, this was happening. This Xavi Simons deal was meant to be happening. It was meant to be happening. And we're yet to see any progress. Something is holding this deal up. And it can't just be player sales from our end. It can't just be that. It has to be something else that's holding this deal up. Maybe it's a fee. Maybe it's the fact that RB Leipzig want a bit more. That's why we're trying to offer. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but something is not. Just doesn't seem to be working with this deal, and it's a worry because whilst we're focusing on the Xavi Simons deal, we're not potentially focusing on other areas of the pitch that we could strengthen. And also, we're not prioritising getting rid of players at this precise moment by the looks of it. Because Ben Chilwell's still there, Sterling's still there, David Datro Fofana's still there. There's a lot of players that still need to leave the squad. The bomb squad has to be reduced. Let's quickly talk about this picture because this is stressing me out as well. I got to see this last night, very late last night before I was about to go to sleep. This is Garnacho via his Instagram. Nothing much to be said, but if you can see, he's put like the sand, the timer, the stressed Garnacho in the gym, timing. He's put something's pending. I'm getting stressed, man. I'm getting stressed. Even the fact that he's putting shit like this up, it tells me he's not got the character or the mentality to be a Chelsea player. Like, just keep your mouth shut. I said the same about Wesley Fofana last week. Just forget all these like cryptic shit and all the stuff that these players are doing in between transfers. Just go to the gym. Just go to, you don't need to post. He's actually got someone. Can you imagine you're in the gym and you get someone, mate, just take a picture of me looking stressed so I can put up my Instagram account. Like, what are you doing? A big man, a grown man is asking someone to take a picture of him stressed so I can put it on Instagram and get people talking. Like me. I've been sucked into the bullshit, but just, I can't, we don't need someone with this kind of mentality and ego at the football club. We just don't. We just don't. It just doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? And he's posted this after the game, after our game finished yesterday. He's probably thinking, I want a bit of that action. I want to be part of Chelsea. But just do it the right way. You don't need to be posting cryptic, stupid things. Like getting one of your mates in the gym to take the picture. It's like those people that you see crying. You see them crying online and like they're crying just about something very traumatic. And I'm like, just why is your first reaction to go online and talk about it? You're online talking about something that's very traumatic. Go and deal with it without the public eye on you. You don't need to post and tell us that you want the move. We know you want the move. I don't get that. I don't like that about Garnacho. I think he's a very ego-driven player. And I think Wesley Fofana's the same. I think Wesley Fofana is the same as that as well. I think they're both the same. Yeah, I don't want anyone like that at the club. You just don't want them there. At all. At all. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. But I want to talk about this as well, because there's got to be some news there has to be some news eventually on Raheem Sterling. There has to be. And you know what's interesting as well? You can tell the players that the club, I mean, let me just show you this very quickly. This is a telling sign. Let's play a game of Guess Who. Let's scroll down. So first of all, there's no Ben Chilwell. There's no Dezazi. There's Benoit Badia Shields in there. There's no Dezazi. I don't think there's even like no David Dasher Fofana, no Sterling. So all those players aren't even featured as part. They're not even like, they've almost been like mentally removed from the club. They're not even on the website. They're not in the loans. They're not in the under 21s. They're nowhere to be seen. Then also as well, very quickly, came back yesterday in the under 21s game against Brentford. Very good to see him come back. But yeah, Sterling's not, no, they're nowhere to be seen. They're nowhere to be seen. I'll be very surprised if Sterling, Chilwell, David Datcher Fofana, all of those players that we just mentioned are in this squad before the window shuts. They're all gone. They're all gone, regardless of where they're going. And someone put in the comments the other day, are they? Do we reckon that they'll terminate contracts? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I'm being honest. I generally think the club will possibly look at terminating contracts because they can't have Ben Chilwell 200 grand a week on the books and he's not playing. Sterling 300. There's half £1,000,000 a week just between Sterling and Ben Chilwell in wages. That's a week. They have to get them off the books. It might be cheaper to pay them up. It might be cheaper. I don't know how long Ben Chilwell's got left on his deal, but it might be cheaper to pay him up. And Sterling. Now, Sterling's been given opportunities to go abroad, to Italy, to Fulham, to West Ham. Ben Chilwell, no one's really coming in for him, but I'll be honest, I think someone will. I think a club will come in for him. He might have to take a hit and go back to Leicester. You never know. I would not put Leicester fans talk to me. Would you have Ben Chilwell back? He's not even a bad left. He's a really good left back. That's the thing. I think people just think because he hasn't played for us for so long that he's actually a bad player. When he came out of the team, he hadn't done anything wrong. It was just the manager didn't fancy him. The manager didn't want to play him. He's not done anything wrong. And he's played well for Crystal Palace on loan last season. He's a very good left back. So whoever ends up with Ben Chilwell, for the price they're going to be paying for him, which I reckon will be very cheap, very low, I think they'll be getting a very good left back. Whoever gets him. Sterling's another one. He's got to go. I think he'll want to stay in London. His son's just signed for Arsenal, so I think he's going to want to be around for that. He's to set up a football camp as well in London. He's going to want to be around for all of those things. So I think London will be Sterling's destination. It could be Fulham. Can't rule out Arsenal again. They love a Chelsea player. You never know. They might try and sign him on a permanent. But I think he'll go. I think the club will only want 20 million for Sterling. There's a club somewhere, even like at Everton. I'm surprised they're not. Although they've just signed Jack Grealish. I read this morning. They've agreed personal terms with Jack Grealish. But I wouldn't be surprised if they sign someone like Sterling. 20 million. It's the wages. The only thing, I think Sterling would have got a move by now if he's willing, because he's not willing to. Apparently Sterling wants a Champions League squad. He wants to join a Champions League team. No, there's not many teams that are willing to pay him £325,000 a week. We were just stupid. We just got bamboozled by the deal. That was the early Bowley years, the early Blueco years where we just weren't really sure. We were just throwing money at everything. £325, he was smart to get that deal done early. And I'm sure he's on like a 5-year deal or something stupid. So, yeah, we need to get rid of Sterling. We really do. He needs to get gone. We need to get rid of Sterling. God knows what's happening with the Xavi Simons deal, but whatever's holding that deal up, it could be wages, it could be a financial thing. It could be. Let's just see if there's any more Chelsea news anywhere. It's gone a bit quiet on the Chelsea front, hasn't it? It's gone a bit. This is interesting, actually. I didn't know this. Well, I did, but I kind of bypassed it. Again, I'm not a big fan of him. But this is for all you fans that want to try and sign a centre back. For players of that caliber to leave on a free is a problem for us. We'll just have to see what happens. It needs a new contract or a conclusion of some kind. So it sounds a bit like Steve Parish, who is the chairman of Crystal Palace, is kind of saying, if he's not signing the deal, we'll take a fee. I didn't realize it was this season that his contract comes to an end next year, but they're not going to want to lose him on a free. And if he's not willing to sign, which if he hasn't signed the deal now, going into that final part of the season, the final part of his contract in the new season, I don't think he's going to sign it. I don't think he signs it. I think he wants out. And he knows Liverpool is still interested. He knows Newcastle are interested. We might be interested. Now, we might be the easy one to get the deal done because one, he knows Chelsea, he's been there before. Two, he's still going to be situated in London, so he doesn't have to relocate. This could be a deal that happens. I didn't realize he was in his last year of his deal. They can't be charging ridiculous amounts of money then. They should be looking 25 million. 25 million. If we offer 25 million, they have to accept that because if they don't want to lose him on a free, unless Liverpool come in or Newcastle offer more, but if they don't and we offer 25 million before the window shuts, they should take that. They have to take that. They have to take it, actually. They'd be stupid not to. They'd be stupid not to. I forgot to big up Reggie Walsh as well. He came on yesterday. Says it's funny. Look, 11 days until Reggie Walsh, 16, gets his GCSE results. Here he is facing AC Milan with Luka Modric, who is 23 years his senior. That is crazy, man. Can you imagine playing for Chelsea, like men's senior squad, and it's mental. So a quick read of this. This is all about, we've got to get some credit. This is what I was trying to say to some fans the other day. Like, they've got to start looking at us a bit different now. We're not the Chelsea that was struggling. We're the Chelsea that's on the rise and on the up and coming again. It says here, unprecedented 10-year contracts, nearly £900 million spent on players aged 21 or younger, and the bending of certain Premier League profit and sustainability rules has allowed a total of £1.6 billion to be paid in transfer fees across a 3-year period. This is very crucial as well. This is something we haven't mentioned very much on this channel, but Enzo Maresca will also be the first manager to be entrusted with the back-to-back campaigns in what will be his 4th season under this ownership. So that just shows that the ownership have got a bit of trust in Maresca. Normally they've sacked the manager or the manager's left by now. This is the first time under this new Blue Co regime that the manager is going into back-to-back managerial seasons at the same club. So yeah, this is true. It's what we said on the channel before. Cole Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo, Marco Correa, all delivering their high price tags. Neto scoring 3 consecutive three goals in 3 consecutive games at the Club World Cup. Yeah, and this is true. We've made some howlers in there as well. But then you look beyond that. João Felix, going to Al Nassr for 43.7 million. Madueke going for 52. Petrovic sold for 25. Even getting Ishe Samuel Smith for 6.5 million off the books. You can't knock them. This is what I was saying about the owners. I was saying this before. There you go. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. This shows the youth, the amount of youth we've got in the squad. So we've got no vets in the team, which is something we've spoken about on here before. Need a little bit more experience. But I think you could probably, I'm not saying you can put him in there. He's not a vet at all, but he's creeping into that veteran category. If you're looking at someone who might be a little bit of a veteran, sadly, it's 27-year-old Tosin. Can't really put Sanchez in there. Maybe Cucurella as well. He's a bit of a leader. Disasti's 27. I didn't know that. He needs to cut. He needs to get gone. I mean, looking at all these youngsters here, the youth players, the peak ones here. I put James a bit ahead of that there. I don't know if this is like in terms of this age. Age is at the bottom. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, we've got, I mean, it shows you, we criticize the owners, but looking at that, you can see that they've got a vision. I just think they need a couple more veterans in this section here. If they had like 1 or 2 vets in there, you could see that that has a lot of potential for all of these players to hit their peak around here. I'm just saying. Yeah, Maresca's definitely won over the fans, 100%. Look, they always do this. Like, I mean, I know these articles kind of spoken about some of the player sales, but they always go, Chelsea has spent £2 billion on players in 6 years, nearly double teams such as Manchester United, Arsenal, Man City. But then they have done that. Look, I like that. But just don't put that first sentence. Why not start with this one? Albeit balanced by the best player sale records over that time period as well. Why not just start with that? Because we always start with they've spent this much, but actually we've balanced the books by selling these amount of players. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But then here we go. That's another player that was in that list. Renato Vega's not on the official website as well. It's a good little article. I enjoyed that. It's good. But yeah, we just have to be honest, man. We just have to be honest this season. I think what will determine our season is those big games. The small games I'm not too concerned about. The big games are the ones that we need to be making sure that we win them. The Liverpools, the Arsenals, the Uniteds, we have to win those games. All the other games are winnable this season. It's those big games where last season we would have crumbled or we would have got a draw. You know, it would have been a 2-1 defeat to someone like Liverpool or something. We have to go and win those games convincingly as well. Not just win them. I want to win convincingly this season. I want to smash teams like 6-0. I want to dominate games. That's what we should be doing this season. 100%. 100%. We got Crystal Palace on Sunday. I'll be in sunny Marrakesh for that game. So it's only right that we do the predicted lineup, what we think will be the squad for Sunday. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's that dissimilar to what we got to see yesterday against AC Milan. I think Robert Sanchez starts in goal. I think he has to start in goal. I think we get to see Reece James as the right back. Potentially. Now, this is all caveating because I think Trevor Chalobah did come off yesterday, but according to Maresca, he's fine. He joked and said he came off because he was too hot, but I think it was a bit of a tweak on the ankle, but I think he'll be fine. I think it was just precautionary that he came off. So I do think if Chalobah's fit, he'll be there. If not, I think we need to play either Wesley Fofana if he's fit, because he's had a lot of time to recover. If he's not fit, I think we need to play Tosun with Josh Ashiempong, maybe as the right centre-back. But I'm thinking of height against Crystal Palace. So I think Chalobah and Tosun for me. Wesley Fofana is not the tallest of centre-backs. And I'm thinking of Mateta. I'm thinking of certain players in that Palace team from set pieces. They're going to be troublesome. So we need some height in our defensive line on Sunday. So I'm going to stick with Chalobah and Tosun because I think it'll be those two. I'm also going to go with the main man, Marco Correa, at left back. I think we're going to see Moises Caicedo and the Enzo partnership continue to flourish in the midfield. And I always get to this point, and I think, how and why am I going to do what I'm going to do? So I think I'm going to nail this down first of all, because this is probably the easier one. I think João Pedro has to start this game over Liam Delap. I think it offers you more, especially in critical games, opening game of the season. I think defensively, Crystal Palace could pose a couple of problems. And I think João Pedro is the man to unlock those defensive securities from Crystal Palace's perspective. So I think we have to start with him. And again, we've got Liam Delap as an option off the bench. The three in the midfield, I'm going to miss someone out here, aren't I? But I'm going to go Cole Palmer. It's Neto. Neto's going to have to miss out. But can I miss Neto out this team? It's the opening game of the season, actually. I think Maresca's going to want 3 points. And I think this is a game where you don't play Estevao straight away. He's all right playing him in the preseason games. That's you can have a bit of fun and run around. But this is the proper start of the season. This is it now. This is what we need to do. 3 points. So I think he plays Pedro Neto, and maybe you bring on Estevao. I don't think you're going to see Estevao from the very start, first game. I think that'd be not criminal, and I don't think it'd be harsh, but I think it'd be a lot. He's expecting a lot for him to play his first game, Premier League competitive game at Stamford Bridge, and expect him just to perform. And I think you need to, Maresca said he wants to sort of embed him into the team very slowly and give him the time and the minutes and manage them well. I think you have to start Neto just based on his form. João Pedro has to start, Cole Palmer has to start. And I think Gittins needs to see, we need to see him consistently link up with Cucurella. Yeah, we have to see that. We have to see those two. Because Gittins needs to be tucking in. I think Cucurella needs to be occupying the space here as well. You know, cutting in. Neto, the same. I think this is what Maresca likes now. I've noticed this a lot more. Last season, we never got to see our fullbacks pressing up as high as they were. But this is what we're getting to see. This is why I think we're being a bit more attacking, you know, having a more of an attacking phrase, because Maresca's allowing our fullbacks to push higher up, to use the space in front of them and actually be part of the attacking threat going forward. Whereas last season, you know, Cucurella, you've seen a bit more of this. You'd see this, and this, and then you would see Enzo drop into here with Cole Palmer kind of shifting over, Reece kind of coming over here, Tosin coming here with Chalobah. So yes, we were overloading, but we weren't exploiting those wider areas, which if you're playing a back three as AC Milan were yesterday, they just couldn't cope with us. And what was even better was we were intricate with the front three. So at one point, Estevao was on the left, Palmer was on the right, and it was just everything was just everywhere. Gittins was then in the middle. He's just very intricate, and I like that about us. So that's the lineup I'm going with. I'm going to go with that as my lineup. I think Tosin has to start. I think for me, he's a leader. He's probably one of the only leaders. And when I say leaders, I don't mean he needs the captain's armband, although he did have it yesterday for a bit. I'm talking about what he can, because even the goal that we gave away, I haven't really spoken about the AC Milan goal. I think Malo Gusto can do better in terms of his positioning. But you could see that Tosin was annoyed with Gusto because he's your man. You have to mark him better than that. And I think this is where Tosin comes in, because he's got the experience. He just needs someone solid on that right side next to him. Reece James done that. Reece James was immense yesterday. He was absolutely superb everywhere. Blocks, shots, everything. Defending well, free kicks, everything. This was like the Reece James of young. This is like the old Reece James is back. So I am happy with that 100%. But as I said, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Make sure you like this video. The Linktree link is in the description. Don't forget, we've got our podcast also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you check all of that out. There will be content over the next couple of weeks whilst I'm away. It might not look like this. It might be from a sunny balcony somewhere, but there will be content coming out. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back soon. Let's hope for 3 points. Leave your thoughts in the comments, all of that good stuff, and we'll be back soon.